Hello there and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at the special project which I titled My Students, My Advisor. Now this project has two users, the student and the advisor, and the student gets to register and he's automatically assigned an advisor from his department. And we also have the advisor interface where the advisor gets to also sign up and set the days is available for counseling, and also see the students is to counsel. So let's take a look at a demo of this project quickly. Alright, so this is the index page. We have the two buttons here for the students and for the advisor. The same we have here, the home students and for the advisor. So when you click on the students, it takes you to the student page, and on the student page we get to sign up. And when we sign up, we fill up some random details. The details to submit. Alright, so when you submit, here are some details. So this is student's name, the registration number. We just filled up the department, and he gets randomly assigned to a physics lecturer, an advisor, Professor Clement Hillary. The room number, the email address, and then the days that he or she is available. So that's how it works. We also have the interface for the advisor, where the advisor gets to also sign up and fill up the necessary details. And when the advisor submits, he's taken to where he gets to choose the days that he's available for counseling, and he adds that, and he can add more. And then if he goes to the dashboard, he sees a list of students. For now, no student has been assigned, so maybe if we register another student in chemistry, so he may be randomly assigned to the student. So this is how this project looks like, and this is what we're going to be working on in this video. So pay attention to every single detail, and let's enjoy ourselves. So grab something, maybe a cup of coffee or a drink, whatever, and let's work together. Alright, so we're going to break down this project. We're going to start with our controller because we're working with ASP.NET MVC, and so we're going to be having our models, our view, and our controller. So we're going to start with our controller. So we're going to have we're going to have a home controller. We're going to create a home controller, and that home controller is going to have one action, which is the index action, and that action is going to carry the link buttons to the student and the advisor page. We're going to have also a layout page for the home controller, which will be the layout for everything as regards the home controller. So let's quickly do that. Let's have the home controller. Let's go to our Visual Studio. Alright, so this is my Visual Studio. This is where I'm going to be working on, and I have already created my ASP.NET MVC project. In case you don't know how to create an ASP.NET MVC project, there's a link down below to a video where I describe how to create an ASP.NET MVC project. And in this project, I've already installed Bootstrap 5. You can see the content and the script folder, they're here already. In the content folder, we have the Bootstrap CSS files, and we have in the script folder the Bootstrap JavaScript files, and you're already set up. So if you also do not know how to install Bootstrap 5 into your project, there's a link down below in the comment section on how to do that. So we're going to go straight to creating our home controller. I'm going to right click on my controller here and go to add, and I go to add Now select controller. And I select MVC5 empty and I add. And I give it the name home. Don't forget, you do not delete the controller there, just leave it at home controller. So you add. Alright, so our controller is created here. So before we add the index action is the default action here already, and that's the action that we want in our page. So in our controller. Before we do that, we're going to add the home layouts as is instructed. So we're going to go to our solution, and in our views folder, as we created the home controller, there's a home folder here. I'm going to right click and go to add and go to MVC5 layouts page. So this is what I'm going to use as my layout for the home page. I'm going to give it the name home layouts and add that. So this is my home layouts page, and I'm going to make a few changes so that it can be compatible, or it can be able to work with Bootstrap 5. So I'm going to add the necessary links for Bootstrap 5. And first off is going to be the bootstrap.main.css file. I'm going to drag it here from my content folder, which I've already downloaded. Bootstrap.main.css, where are you? Yes, so that's it. Left click, drag into the head tag. Yes, and I'm going to do the same for the bootstrap.bundle.main.js. If you not watched the video of how to install Bootstrap 5, the link is down below in the comment section. With the script file, bootstrap.bundle.main.js, left click and drag to the bottom of my body tag. So yes, so my layout page is fully set up for Bootstrap 5. Alright, so that's the home layout. So I go back to my home controller and I right click to add the view of the index page. So I select add view. I leave the name at index here, and I make sure the user layout is checked, and I go to this browse button to select which of the layouts I'm going to use. And the layout I created is in the views in the home folder. So I select the home layout and I add. Yes, so I add this page. Alright, so this is going to be my index page for my home controller. So I think we're done for the home controller for now. Next up is the student controller, which is going to have its own student layout, its own index page, its sign up page, and the login page. And each of these pages are going to have their actions that call them out. So we're going to first off create the student controller, then we're going to create the student layout, then we're going to create the index action, the sign up action, the login actions, and their views. Alright, so go to my solution explorer, right click on my controller again, go to add controller, select this, add students controller, so name. Yes, so then I go back to my solution explorer, collapse this, right click on my students folder, add MVC5 layouts page, students layouts. Why we're having different layouts for each of these controllers? Because there's a little difference in the way it looks. So to save my time, I'm going to copy from the home layouts exactly what I have. So I have my student layout set up for Bootstrap 5. Alright, so that's it. So next up is to create the actions. So we already have the index action, so what we're going to do is to right click and add the index view. Yes, so don't forget you have to change the layout. We're in the student layout now, so we select student and we select the student layout. Okay, so we add that. Alright, so we're going to create the other actions, the sign up and the login actions. Paste and make some changes from index to sign up, changes from login, from index to login. So these are going to be my actions. So let's create the views that will call them up. So add view, sign up, student layouts, yes, so that's what we want. We close this to save us some space. Right click on the login, add view, login, student layouts, yes, we add that view. So that's it for the student controller. Alright, next up is the advisor controller. So we have, similar to the student controller, the advisor layout, the index action, the sign up action, and the login action, and their views. So we're going to go to Visual Studio and create that. So I'll simply come to Solution Explorer, right click again, select add controller, MVC5 controller empty, add advisor. Yes, so to save me some time, since it's similar to the student controller, I'm going to copy the same actions here and replace it in my advisor controller. Yes, then of course we're going to create the advisor layout. Right click on the advisor, go to add MVC5 layouts page, advisor layouts, and of course copy the same from the home layouts, replace in the advisor layouts, Ctrl A, Ctrl V, replace. Alright, and back to my advisor controller, I'll add the necessary views. So the index view, remember to change this to advisor layouts. So click on the advisor layouts, yes. Alright, save this, close this to save us some space. Do the same for the sign up. We add the view, sign up, we add, same, save this, close this, right click and add view, yes. Alright, so if we go to our Solution Explorer, we have the three controllers here, the advisor controller, the home controller, and the student controller, and each of them have their various views. The advisor has advisor layout, the index page, the login page, and the sign up page, as well as the student, and then the home controller just has the index page and its layouts. Alright, so the next step is to set up the layout page, and the first thing, we're going to be using Bootstrap, so we're going to copy out the navbar component and edit it. We're going to copy it out from getbootstrap.com. So I search getbootstrap.com. Yes, I go to Documents. We're using Bootstrap 5, so I go straight to Docs. Go down, get to Components, go down and get to the nav bar. yes, navbar, and then down there we choose this first one and copy it. So remember, this is what we're working on. We want it to look like this. We want the navigation bar to look like this. So let's go ahead and paste it. Alright, I paste it in I'm going to use my home layout, of course. At the top of my body, first immediately after my opening body tag, that's where I'm going to have my nav bar, and then at the ending of every other thing, at this point I'm going to have my little footer there. Right, so here I'm going to have my navigation bar. I'm going to paste what I copied from getbootstrap.com. Yes, and of course there are a lot of changes that need to be made. Let's view it and see how it looks like. So because we are using a layout, we can't just right click and view in the browser. We have to go to a page that is nested within the home layout. So that has to be the index page of the home layout. So I go there, I could put home index so that we can know where we are, because we have several index pages. So right click and view in a browser. Alright, so this is our index page, and then the navigation bar. Yeah, so we're going to make some adjustments to see. We're going to make some adjustments so that it will fit into our demo here. Right, so first we make this navigation bar black in color. So back to my home layout, change this from BG light to BG dark. You choose whatever color you want. So for this case it's BG dark. And then of course I'm going to change these list items. We just have 3 list items in our menu. That's the home, the student, and the advisor. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, change this to advisor, change this to students. Let's get the link right. So we're making use of build /students /index leading to the index page. Same for the advisor. So build /advisor leading to the index action. For the home, build /home /index. Right, and I will add an ID to this, to each of them, so I could easily style I call it the same name with the class navlink, but this time around it's not a class, it's an ID, so I could do some CSS styling. Right, then okay, right, I'll come in here. Okay, we're going to quickly create style sheets. I'll still use the content folder. I'll add the style sheets. I call it std adv style. Right, so I'm going to have first of the nav link. The colors are going to be white, right, and then for our logo, I'm going to have a span of my students. Give that an ID of std, yeah. Okay, copy this, paste it, replace this with my advisor. And this would be ADV. Alright, so in styling we have std. Color would be, I think it's simply yellow, and for the ADV the color will be somewhat red, so let's use the color palette and get something close to that, a little bit wine reddish. Okay, let's work with this. So this is what we're going to have, and of course we have to link our new style to this page, and that's std, yeah, ADV. So add that link here. Alright, okay, so we may need to view this again. Okay, sorry, we need to view this again. So alright, so this is what we have. Oh, we still have this search here, we don't need it, so we're going to remove it. Home layout. Okay, so that's what's in the form here. We're going to remove it. Alright, and we delete, and refresh. It goes, and we want to centralize this. So to do that, change this from ME auto to M auto. Alright, so that's progress. So let's add the footer quickly. So just a simple footer. We have a paragraph. We align the contents to the center, and we could just write copyright. Have to write at 2 times because of it's a razor page. At 2022, my students, my advisor. Yeah, we could just leave it at this. Very simple. So I'm going to Ctrl A, copy this, Ctrl C, and for each of my layouts, for the advisor layouts, Ctrl A and replace it with this. Make the little change for the advisor. So I'm going to remove everything about my students here. Delete it. Okay. And the same for my student layouts. Let's find where we have it. Ctrl A and Ctrl V. We remove my advisor. Okay, let's save this. So when we view the page, we refresh again, and yeah, there's nothing. So this is our footer, there's nothing inside. So if you go to the students, so it's my students. If you go to the advisor, it's my advisor. So we have just set up our layout page. Alright, and we've added the necessary footer and we've made the necessary changes for each layer. So I think we're done. So next up, we're going to set up our database, and these are going to be the information that we need in our database, so that we're going to be making use of entity framework to create an object of our database. So first, we're going to go into our server explorer to create our database. Alright, I go to my server explorer, click on the data connection and add connection. Alright, so we use Microsoft SQL Server database file, and we give the database a name, my students, my advisor DB. Alright, and I click on OK. Yeah, do you want to create? Yes, I want to create. So yeah, here's our database. Drop down the carrots and then right click on the tables and we add new table. Alright, so this is where we're going to create this. We're going to change the name here from table to student table. So let's see what are the items, what are going to be our column headers. Alright, so this is what I want, so I can see what we're creating. So we have the student's ID that will replace the primary key ID there, so that will be student ID and int. First name will be the next. With a number, leave it at 50. I mean, whose name is more than 50 characters. Same as surname, leave it at 50 also. Last name, same as 50. The reg number is also going to be a string. Let's just do it at 52. We will do the validation in our controller. We have the department. Okay, max. And the department names could be quite long. Email. Okay. Phone number, we will also leave it at string 2 and validate it from. Alright, password. And the final is the advisor ID, which would be like a foreign key representing the advisor who is being assigned to this particular student. So before we update, we click on this, right click, go to the property, select identity specification, change from false to true, so that our primary key, which is the student's ID, can increment automatically in a range of 1. Alright, so with that we can update our table into the database. So we update our database. Alright, and that is successful. So we close this and do the same for the advisor. Alright, so we'll do the same for the advisor. We'll add new table. Alright, so he also has his advisor ID, which is an int 2. The title, first name, surname, last name, department, email, room number, which is going to serve as the address, the availability. I always have a problem spelling that. Ability, did I spell it well? Right, and that's going to be n var max, and that's where we're going to have how the duration the advisor has time to counsel his students. And of course, we're going to have the password. Alright, so of course we do the same. We right click here, go to properties, here, change this to true. So when we're done, we update. We update. Alright, so it's done updating. So let's see the next step. Alright, so we're going to create an entity framework of our database. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so let's close up all this. And to do that, we're going to go to our Solution Explorer. In my models folder, I right click, go to add, I go to new items. I go to data, then select adu.net entity data model and give it a proper name. I'm going to give it student advisor entity and TT model. Okay, so select EF designer from database. Next, right, so I'll delete this and change it to a convenience name that I will remember, my std adv entity. Yeah, because that's what we're going to use to create an object of our database. Do not create a copy, so select no. Yes, entity framework version 6. Click on next. Go to table, go to, so we select everything. The students. Oh, I did not. Oh wow, forgot to rename the advisor table. So the advisor table is just going to be table here. So let's be consistent with that. So models. So please try to rename yours to advisor table before you create the entity framework. Alright, so the entity framework model has been created for the student table and for the advisor table. Remember, we did not change the name of the advisor. Remember, we did not change the name of the advisor table, so that's why it's still table here. So if you're working on yours, remember to change the name to advisor table. So we Ctrl S to save that to be sure it's saved, and then we can close this. Alright, so we are done creating the entity framework model. So next up, we're going to set up our index page for our home controller. We're going to make it look like that of the demo. So let's take a look at the demo again. Alright, so this is how the index page looks like. We have a background image, and then we have the two buttons, the student and the advisor linking to the index pages. So let's work on that now for our index page in our Visual Studio. Alright, so we'll go to our Solution Explorer. And we get to our index page in our home. Alright, so it needs okay, we'll have just create a div or a section, whatever one, whichever we choose. Give it an ID. Home. Have my style tag here, where I will style, so type text CSS rel style sheets. Right, so it's going to have a background image. Let's get that picture into our project. So I'm going to right click on my project and create a folder for my images. Add new folder, images. So I'm going to copy the image from where it is. So this is the image. I'm going to copy it and paste it here. Alright, so I'm going to style the home tag. I'm going to drag and drop this image here. It's going to serve, it's going to serve as the background image, and I want my home section to have a default height of let's say 400 pixel. Alright, and then we're going to have a div, a class of row, new line, content in the center. I'm going to have another div, class of column of 12. And inside are going to be my links to my students. This is going to be a class, btn, yellow should be danger, yeah. And change content to students, and going to have a line break here. Copy this, paste it, replace this with advisor, replace danger with warning, and then replace students with advisor. Yeah. Alright, so let's see how this looks like first. So right click and view in the browser. Alright, so this is what we have here, and the students and the advisor buttons are stuck to the left. We're going to adjust it and then increase the height of this a little. Alright. Alright, so let's wrap this around a container. div class container, paste this. We also have this align content center. Save. Alright, so we wrap these buttons in a center tag. Right, and we could give give this an ID. We could say home inner. Styling the home inner. Sorry. So we could give it a padding top of say 25%. That kind of goes to the center. So we could make this up to 900 pixel. Alright, so I think this is fine. Yeah, so we could make these buttons look bigger. Style the buttons BTN and a padding left and right. Let's say 10%. Sorry, 10%. Let's refresh and see. Okay, it's coming up. We could increase it more than that and so on, but we could leave it like this. Alright, so we have our student and our advisor button leading to the index of the advisor, and of course leading to the index of the student page. So I think we're kind of done here. So let's go to the next step. So now we're going to design our index page with the links to sign up and login. So let's see how it looks like in the demo. So in our demo, if we go to the students, so we kind of have the same sign up, login, sign up. So it looks kind of like the index page of the home. So we're going to just copy it and then change this to sign up and login. So make this a little bit bigger, 15%. I'm going to copy from the styles here to the end, Ctrl C, and then to my, so we are dealing with the students now. So students, I go to the index page and then come here. Delete this and paste. Alright, so now it's gonna be students slash sign up, and it's going to be sign up, and this is going to be login. This is going to be login. It's going to be students. Alright, so let's see how that looks like. Okay, Okay, if you refresh and you click on students, alright, so that's sign up and login. Alright, so that's the index page, and we're going to work on the sign up page with the necessary models and form fields. So our sign up page, let's see how it looks like in the demo. So let's go to sign up. Alright, so this is what we have in the sign up. We have the various forms, and we're going to build something like this. So let's go to our sign up page in the student controller. Alright, so we go to sign up. Alright, so I'm going to delete this and create a div with an ID of students, and class of card body, live and a card. Alright, so this is where we're going to have our sign up form. And we're going to have give this an ID again of form. Okay, so we're going to do a little style here. Type text CSS well equals to style sheets for the students. So we're going to have the same background image as we have in the index page. We're just going to copy this, and that height seems to be too much, so we change this to 700. C, Ctrl V. Oh, ooh, copied too much. Yeah. Take this out. Alright. Okay, so that's for the background image for the students. Okay, then we're going to add the model for this student at the top here. The model is going to be the student table. So at model space your project name, and mine should be my first ASP project dot models dot students table. Yes, students table. So that's what's going to carry the models, the properties for the form we're going to be making use of. Now we're going to set up, we're going to be using HTML helpers to submit our forms. So we're going to set it up. It's going to be at using in bracket HTML dot begin form, open and close the action we're submitting to the sign up. Then the name of the controller we're submitting to, which is the student controller. Then form method dot post, we put our curly brackets. So here is where we're going to put everything about our form fields. So we're using this div, this class of form check label, and the HTML helper, HTML, okay, sorry, the label, it's HTML dot text box 4. Make sure you have added your model before you start this, so you could have a drop down of different models. So first we have in our demo is first name. We're going to have a new. This will enable us to put the class, the bootstrap class, form control. This will also enable us to have the placeholder, enter first name. So I'm simply going to copy this, Ctrl C. This is going to be for the surname. So I'm going to do this quickly. Enter surname. Next is last name. Enter last name. Next is the department. So enter department. Next is the level, and the level it makes use of a drop down, so we're going to be using a drop down list 4. I'm going to change this to the level. Oh, we don't have, oh wow, we did not add the level in our database. So what are we going to do now? We need to update our database. So quickly go to Server Explorer, right click, refresh. Alright, we go to the table, open table definition. Alright, so we're going to add level, the numbers we could just use int. Alright, so we update it. We update the database. Alright, so we close this and we go to our entity framework. So we will need to come here and right click and update models from database, and we go to refresh table, we select the student table, we finish, and when it's done loading it will add a level here. Yes, the level is added with Ctrl S, save it. Yeah, but it's not added to the model here already. So we'll come down to the student advisor entity model.tt. That's where we're going to see a list of tables. So the student table class here. So we have to add that manually here. Our PLOP tab twice. Nullable int. Alright, so level. Alright, so back to our sign up. Alright, so I think by now level should pop up. Yes, we have level there. So this being a drop down, we need to add a select list here. So new select list, and we need to add an object or a list or an array which is going to iterate over to display in the drop down. So I'm going to create an object called level. We don't have that yet for now, and then this is going to be the select level, separate it with a comma, and we do not need the placeholder anymore here. Okay, so we can delete this. Okay, so right at the top, yeah, where we already have the arts, where we have the view bag and layouts, so I could create a string of an array level where I write all the levels to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and I think 600 the highest number of levels you could have for a student. Oh yeah, okay, see that it's meant to be an int, so yeah, okay. So still flagging errors? Alright, no. So yeah, so drop down is sorted out for the levels. Next should be the reg number. So change this to reg number. Of course, enter reg number. Next would be email, and enter email, and final two should be password and confirm password. So we'll change this to password 4, password, and we don't have a confirm password. Okay, let's come here. So enter password. We don't have a confirm password, so we'll add that in our student table. We don't actually need that in our database, so we'll just add that. So prop string confirm password. Alright, so that's added to our student table model, so we can use that. Control C, Control V, password 4, confirm password. So this would be retype or confirm password. And finally, our submit button, type of submit, give it a class of btn primary, was like primary. Then yes, submit. Alright, so and I think we had our form have this black background. Yes, the form ID, so we have that ID of form, and give it a background color of black with a little bit transparent, yeah, and some padding, let's say some 20 pixel padding. So let's see how it looks like in our browser. Alright, so if we refresh this, alright, so if we go to the sign up, it seems like there's an error in our drop down list. Let's see what could be the problem, and why didn't it flag that error when we were working. Let's see, 11 new select list items level, yeah. Drop down list for, yeah. Level, yes. what could be the problem. This is an int. This is an int also. Can't seem to find out what's the problem. Let's redo a little investigation. Alright, I see what the problem is. We refreshed this page when we just added the level in the models, and we can't recognize it from here, so we have to close this and go back and view again in our browser. So we're going to right click and view page, view in browser. So it's possible that when you're running and you're working from your browser, if you make any change outside the view like we did in our student table, you need to close that which you view in the browser, and reload it from there, so it doesn't flag such errors again. So this is going to open the sign up page directly. Alright, so it did that. So just we have this by the left, but we want it in the center, so we just make a few changes. Right, so can't go the let's see if wrapping this around the center tab will work. Yes, so we have it in the center, and we don't want this to span us through. So we just want nice margin. The card body. Margin of top could be 10%, right and left could be 15%, bottom, so 10% too, and this 15%. Let's see how it looks. Alright, so okay, this ID, I think it's the form that should have this. Delete this and have you here. Yes, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So you could whatever you want, so this is how you want it to look, or any way better. This is what we have. This tutorial is not much about the front-end design, so we're not going to spend so much time on that. So we have our forms here, so this is the way we're going to fill up our details. So next up, we need to have our validations for this form items. We need to have our validations so that when we submit, they will show us the necessary errors when we do not fill up the necessary things. So to add the validation, we need to go to our student table model and add the required form, add the required class. Alright, so my student table, right above each property, okay, not the student ID is not our problem. So right above the first name, I'm going to have the required class, required. Yes, so if you're adding this for the first time in your model, it won't recognize it, so you come over to this why is it, yeah, you take it easy. So you come over to this bulb here and you click on it. Why is it dancing? It's not appearing again. Okay, if you click on it, it should suggest, yeah, using system components model data annotation. So if you select that, so it would include the library for the required. So required in brackets, we have our error message. Yes, error message, which will be enter first name, and then I'm going to copy this and directly above the surname I'm also going to paste it. So enter surname. Last name isn't compulsory, so directly above the reg number I'm going to paste this, and then I'm going to say enter reg number. Now this reg number has a pattern, and the pattern is we are choosing, it has to be 4 digits, then you have a backslash, and then you have, I think, another 5 digits. So that's the pattern. So to have that, we're going to have the regular expression in brackets. So the first is going to be the pattern for the regular expression, and I'm going to just copy the pattern for the regular expression for that and paste it. So I paste it, that's the regular expression for that reg number. Then of course we have, oh, not there, comma, then we have our error message where we will say enter a valid reg number. Alright, so we still copy this, see. So directly above department, we're going to have enter department. Directly above email, we're going to have enter email, and email also has its own regular expression, so we're going to have a regular expression. I'm going to copy this here directly above the email, and we change this to enter a valid email, and the regular expression for email, I think it's dot plus immediately followed by at, then dot plus immediately followed by a dot, then dot plus. Yes, so that's the format, the regular expression for an email. Alright, so then for phone number, no, not that's not what I want to paste. So let's copy this MVC. Oh, sorry. MVC copy. So directly above phone number, also say enter phone number, and then directly above the password, we're going to have enter password. Enter password, and there's a regular expression for password, so we're going to use a password pattern that would takes a minimum of 8 characters. So we'll say enter a valid. Okay, we'll say password must be more than 8 characters. So So the regular expression for that, I'm going to copy it and paste it here. So I delete this and copy from my source. I paste, so that's the pattern. And of course, for confirm password should also be required. Oops, what did I do? Okay, you see, so confirm password should also be required. So we'll say we type password, and level should also be required. Remember, it's always directly above, so this is the drop down, so we say select level. Alright, so for this to display on our view, we have to add their validation messages, and to have that, I'm going to, within the same label, just drop down here, and then I'm going to put a line break first, then I'm going to have a small tag, and then I'm going to give it an ID of error, which we're going to start with a color of red, and then we're going to have HTML dot validation message for, so that's going to be the validation message for first name. So control home, I'm just going to copy this, control C, so inside the label, paste it here. What was that? Yeah, and change this to surname, and do the same for department, why are you changing the arrangement? Department, okay, oh, easy again. This is for level. Control V, Control Z. This is for reg number. This is for email. Password, and finally confirm password. Alright, so this is going to be, and then here we're going to style our arrow to have a color of red. Okay, so we have successfully added our validation message. So now we're going to go over to our controller, or is that the next step? Let me confirm. Yeah, well, everything we're doing has to be for us. So we're going to go over to our controller, and we're going to add the post action of the sign up, which is going to collect the sign up page where we submit our form. So in my student controller, so the default state of every action you see here is the HTTP get, but for emphasis sake I like to rewrite that HTTP get, of course, and so we are now going to add the post action, which will enable us to submit the forms to the sign up action. So it's going to be same public action results sign up, and we're going to have the students table, and because we haven't added any reference from our models folder, we need to include that. So why is my bulb dancing? Okay, here click on this using my project model. So this is going to be sign up. I call this sign up and close brackets. So for now it's flagging an error until I return back the view. So we're going to have this temporary here. I'm going to put a line break here, sorry, breakpoint here. So we're going to be sure that when we hit the submit button from our sign up page, that it submits to this point. So I'll go to my sign up page. Now this time around I am not going to view from a browser, because if I right click and view from a browser, it wouldn't be debugged, so I wouldn't have access to my breakpoints. So this time around I'm going to run with my IIX Express. This is what it looks like. Yeah, I think we should make some changes to the view, and these spaces are here because of the line breaks that we added, and it has to match. So we should also have a line break at the last name too, so it kind of matches the loop. Yeah, then I think the margin for the form for the top, is it too much? Let's make it 7%. Let's refresh. Alright, and oops, we gave this a default height, and it's more than the height of this. So I think because of this we may need to leave it at auto. Yeah, auto. Then we do not have any caption, so we'll have maybe H2 says students sign up. So let's refresh. Yeah, student sign up is there, but the color is not white, so we could style it. That's H2 color white, so we could see it. Okay. Fresh. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be submitting, and let's see how it works. So let's get a random name. Elvis Daniel, Jude of chemistry department of 200 level 2020 blah blah blah. Gmail.com. So let's click the submit button to be sure it works. So if it works, it will take us to our post action of the sign up, and remember we post it, so it brings us to the post action of our sign up. And when we hover on the sign up object, we should be able to see the items that were submitted from the form. so these are the items we typed in. Alright, so it works, it submits, it comes in here. So next up, we're going to handle everything about the sign up here in our student controller. The first thing we're going to handle is our validation. So the first thing we're going to handle, close this error message, is our validation. So we're going to validate. We're going to use an if statement. So if model state that is valid, that's what we use when we make use of the required class in our model. So if model state is valid, that means the required fields have been filled up. Then you can go ahead and process the form. Else, you return the user back to the sign up view, and then you could add back the sign up object, so it could those things that he filled up would return back there. So that's for it. So if that's the case, I will also take this out of here and put it here. Okay, so for now we're going to process the form before we return a view. So I'm going to pause this here and then pause this here. So we're going to launch the sign up again, and then let's see how it behaves when we do not submit all the proper fields. Alright, so let's try submitting without filling all the required fields. So we could put a first name. Okay, we have that. Let's do surname empty. Let's fill up this. Let's leave the level empty. Let's leave reg number empty. Let's type in the email. Let's leave the password empty. So let's submit. So if the model state is valid, it's going to come in here. If it's not valid, it's going to come in here. So if we continue, it isn't valid because many of the required fields have not been filled. So we continue, it takes us back to the page, and then it flags those errors, and we're not having them where we should. This enter surname should be directly under here. And then is it because the line breaks? Let's see. Let's test it with the surname we used before. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to put this up here. Control X. Take away. Sorry. Or let me take away the line break. Put it after here. Let's see how that's going to look like. Refresh. Of course. Yeah. Submit. Continue. Yeah. Not so. Do you want this like this? Okay. Still fine. Enter surname. So I think we're going to adopt that same method for others. So we just have it at the top and the line break. Alright, so what we do is we take the line break to this point. so we do not want to cut out so many of this, so you could see every single step that we take. Yeah, so if we refresh this again, we submit, continue. Alright, so since enter surname, select level. Alright, so okay, so I think it works. So let's test for the pattern. Let's try something that is not a good email. Let's take away the @ let's submit, let's continue, let's see. So here this time around for the email it says enter a valid email because we did not type a valid email. So let's fill up everything. Okay, so if we fill up everything, okay, yeah, level, let's select level, red number, let's put a red number, let's put a valid email, let's put a password of at least 7 characters, at least 8 characters, same, and let's submit. So if the model is correct, it comes in here. So let's see. Oh, it doesn't come in here. What could be the problem? Did we miss something? Let's continue and see what we missed. So where's the error from? I don't have an error anywhere. So why is the model state not valid? I wouldn't know. Let's see. This time around, let's submit and let's hover and see what we have. Oh, we do not have the phone number. Okay, yes, so that's the problem. We don't have the phone number, and then we need to add that to the sign up. We don't have a phone number. Yeah, so let's have that because that's required too. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and this is going to be phone, oops, caps lock, phone, yeah, enter phone number, and of course this message is going to be for enter phone number. Alright, so we are in our student controller. Where are you? Student, yeah, okay, so continue, yeah, okay, so now the phone appears. So let's put the phone number. For now there's no we did not use a regular expression to check the validity of this number. Actually, the regular expression for phone numbers, they vary depending on the type of numbers that you want. So I'm in Nigeria, so we're going to use Nigerian phone numbers to work on that. So let's confirm first that it's no longer sees that as an error. Okay, so when we submit, so it should come in here now. Alright, so the model state is valid. Alright, so we can stop this at this point. So our validation works so far. So next up, before we proceed to the form, since it comes in here, we're going to check for a valid phone number. So to save me space, I'm going to create what I call I'm going to create another a class where I'm going to have some methods I use to perform some actions. So I'm going to go to my solution explorer, I like to put that in my models folder. Right click, go to add. I'm going to add a class. And I'm going to call this extra features. Alright, so in this class I'm going to have different, there's some special features I may need to have. I'm going to have it here. Alright, then I'm going to have a method which I'm going to call a phone check, and it's going to be a static method, and it's going to return a boolean, and the name is going to be phone check, and it's going to take a string as a parameter. Alright, and this method should return true if it's a valid phone number. Alright, so we're going to have an if statement. So if phone dot so we're going to check if the person is using the +234 pattern. We're going to use the substring. Use the substring. So that would be 0, +234 are 4 characters, +2, 3, and 4 are 4 characters. So 4. So if substring 0, 4 is equal to +234, yeah, if it's equal to this, and the phone dot length is equal to, so +234, so if we're going to have a complete number +2, 3 plus 4, sorry, I have to use my number to remember this. +2, sorry, let me, +234 706520855. Yeah, that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. Yeah, so it has to be 14 characters in length. So if the length is equal to 14, and alright, so we're also going to try to convert the number to so I'm going to have bool convert. We're going to try to convert, yeah. Okay, so let's take it one step at a time. So if this is the length, then we also need to check. So we're going to have in a bool convert would be initially false. Then we'll try to convert we'll try to convert it to we'll try to convert the phone to a decimal. Convert that to decimal, and that's phone. So if it's able to convert, then convert becomes true. Yeah, true. Okay, let's do this outside. I think it's going to be better. And no, it won't work in case there's this plus. Plus will not be a number, so okay, it's not going to be converting the whole of the phone. It's going to be converting phone dot substring 1, so everything from the first digit. Okay, so that's if it has a plus. So if it's able to convert, then convert becomes true, else convert is still false. I hope my reasoning makes some sense. So then we have if converts is true, then okay, we're going to have our results here, which will return. So result is going to be a boolean, and initially is false. So if it's able to convert, then results becomes true. So if it's able to convert this number, result becomes true. You don't need to put an else. So this else would be, else if, I'm going to copy this to save me some time. See, so else if substring 0,1 is equals to 0, and the length is 11 digits, right? Then we try the conversion again. See. Alright, so we going to make some changes here. So yeah, if you could convert everything. Yeah, I think this should still work if you convert this. In that case, we don't need to repeat this here. We could just since they both work the same way, we just have it at the top. Yeah, we're having the error. Okay, where what's the error now? Okay, we are yet to return a result. So okay, so else if this is this, then we return, we return our results. So if you follow this pattern, we will use this to check for our phone number. So back to our student controller. So to do this, we say if since if the phone number is true, if it's a valid phone number, is going to give you a true. So we would use a negative of this, we invert it. So if extra features dot phone check, right, in brackets. So sign up dot phone. Alright, so if this is, so if the phone number happens to be, let's get this logic right. So if it's the correct phone number, it becomes true. So if you invert it, becomes false, so it would not come in here. So if it's a wrong number, it becomes false, and if you invert it, it becomes true, so it comes in here. So in here we'll use the view bag dot phone. We send an error message particularly for the phone, and we will say what, enter a valid phone number, and we would return the view with the object. Alright, so let's add the view bag dot phone error in our sign up. Same line with the phone. Where is phone? Okay, so here we have the validation message. We should also have this at view bag dot phone error. Yeah. So alright, so that should sort out the phone. So else we go ahead and process our form. So to process our form, we also should check if we have to check if the reg number the student types already exists in our database. So now we're going to create an object of our database. I always prefer to add the object of our database at the top here before we delve into the actions. At the top, just immediately after the opening curly brackets of the class. So I'll create an object of my database, and that should be std my std adv entity. My object name is going to be db equals to new my std. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's going to be the object of my database. So here I'm going to check if the reg number exists, and to do that I'm going to create an object. So var reg, or I'm going to say user check, to check if the user already exists. So that will be db dot students table dot where, so where the reg number in the database happens to be equal to the reg number that the student signed up with, first or default. So we have to pull the first. So if the user check, if it checked and it is not null, if you do not find any, if it is not null, that means it's found a user in our database with the same reg number. Yeah. That means we're going to flag an error, viewBag.error, and say students already registered, and then it's going to return back to the view, of course with the object again. Yeah, so let's have this viewBag.error added to the top of our sign up message. Alright, so just immediately after here we could have the small tag with the ID of error. at viewbag.error. So that should be where the error message will appear. And if that's not the case, then we are pulling our process form, keep taking it down, so we could process the form now. So we could try to submit form. So to submit the form, we are going to, since the sign up is already an object of our student table, so we're just going to simply add it to the list of our tables. So db dot student tables dot add sign up. So we're going to use a try catch to be sure it submits. So return, db dot save changes. So if it works, if you save the changes, it's supposed to the next thing is supposed to randomly assign an advisor. It's supposed to randomly assign an advisor before it returns redirect to action to the dashboard. We're going to create the dashboard view with the sign up. Okay. Okay, before it does the official submission, I think we should randomly assign before we submit. Right, so we should randomly assign an advisor. So this is where we come in. Now the problem I have, I'm going to make use of the random number, the random class, random number, which we're going to use to generate some random numbers. The problem I have with using this is that it repeats over it repeats numbers. The repetitive pattern is kind of predictable. So what I usually do is in this case we know that alright, so first of all we're going to pull out a list of all the advisors in the users department. So advisors var.advisor db dot tables, that's the name of our advisor table. So db dot tables dot where the table dot where the advisor where the department of the advisor, we save this to lower just in case we use different cases, is equal to the sign up, that's the students department dot to lower to lists. So we're going to pull a list. So this pulls a list of advisors in the department. Alright. So and so we're going to see how we could play with a random number, so we could get any of the advisors and assign the advisor to to the student. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have an int I'm going to call it adv id, advisor id, and that's going to be a random number dot next, so which is going to generate a random number here. We have to give it a range from 1 to okay, if you don't give it a range, it generates any random number. So usually the problem I do have is that it generates random numbers repetitive. If I use this random number method, it could, have a pattern of generating 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and all that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this to start at this point, and then I'm going to give it a log. So we're going to have another object. This will be advisor, which would be, we're going to scan through the list of the advisors. That's the advisor object. Now that is this one. Remember, this object is a list of all the advisors in the same department, right? So before we do this, I think the first thing we need to do is, if advisors is equals to null, that means if you did not find any advisor, that means no advisor has been registered, then the sign up dot advisor id will still be null. And every other thing I'm doing has to be else, so I have to put all this in here. So changes should be else there first. Okay, so this other random should also be here. Alright, so we're going to check through the list of advisors if there are advisors, and then we're going to bring out one of the advisors. So if among the list of the advisors that any of the ID matches with the randomly generated number, which is adv id, if it matches, of course, first or default, then alright, so we're going to see if it's going to find so when this generates a random number, it adds it here, and if this random number tallies with a number in our database, it's going to have an object here. So if it's not, this object is going to be null. So we're going to use the loop. So while the advisor remains null, that is if it doesn't find anybody, we're going to generate another random number. We're going to generate another random number, C. And we're going to check again to see whether it matches. If it doesn't match, then you loop again. If it's null, it will come generate another random number, check again if it matches. If it matches, then it will not loop. Then finally we will now have the sign up that advisor id as this advisor dot the advisor id. I hope this makes some sense. Alright, so before we do our db.save changes and we return, sorry, I should put the pause here and return to the dashboard, else we just return. If it's not able to save, we have to return you back to the view, and then maybe we could add an error message, view bag dot error, we say unable data lost or data unsaved. But we do not expect to get to that point. We expect it to submit. So let's try out all we've done here. We're going to put a lot of breakpoints so we could see how all this works. So I'll pause this here, pause this here, pause this here, pause this here. No, here, okay. Yes, so that was alright, so okay, also pause this here. We've not registered any student before now, so but we have to pause this here. Okay, okay, so yeah, this is unnecessary, so we have to take this out. Alright, so let's run this and let's see how it goes. Alright, so let's fill up our details. Let's try to be correct. All this Daniel, last name not compulsory, but we could use that. Chemistry, select any level, reg number, email, phone number. Okay, yeah, we have to be careful here. So let's see if our phone number validation works. Let's type something random that doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, we've not done the confirm password. Alright, so if this happens to be the case, which we expect, then it should come in here. Yeah, it does come in here. So before we do that, let me quickly add the confirm password. So if sign up dot password is not equal to sign up dot confirm password, then view bag dot error will announce that password doesn't match. And we return view to the sign up, including the sign up projects. And so that will sort out the confirm password if it doesn't match, before we go ahead to to submit the rest of the forms. So let's see, and since it's the enter a valid number is going to pop up. Alright, so it says enter a valid phone number, so that part works. Okay, so let's enter a valid phone number here. So let's see, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so let's show. So when we submit, Alright, so if it's not valid, it will still come back here. Alright, so it comes here. That means the phone number is valid this time around, and it checked in the table and it did not find any students with that same red number. So in our sign up, let's see, these are the information there. Okay. Alright, so it searches for the list of devices. It's actually, because it's a list, it can't be null, so we have to sort this out. So we cannot use this. So if this is equals to null and this is not null, but actually there is no advisor here, so we can't even do this. So I think what we're going to do here is, since the count is 0, that's what we're going to do. So we say if advisor.count is equals to 0, then that means it would come here. So I think we're going to have to cancel this, come here, continue. So if we go back to where it came from, I guess we'll get stuck in this loop. So let's stop here. So we change this to advisor.count. So if advisor.count is equal to 0, then this will be null. That's if it doesn't find any advisor there. So we have to go back to sign up again and run it. So let's sign up again. So submit, come back to the controller. Oh, it jumped. What did it jump? Oh, we did not put a pause here, so I guess because we didn't put a pause here, I guess it's sign up advisor is null. So what just happened here was that it counted and it discovered it didn't find the count here was equals to 0, so the sign up the advisor will be set as null, and when it did the save changes, it worked. If it didn't work, it would have gone straight into the catch, but because it worked, it saved the change. It did not show it, so it's going to return us back to the dashboard, which we do not yet have. So I think we could stop this here, but before we do that, let's take a peek at our database. Let's see if this information really stored. So I right click and show table data. Right, so the informations are stored correctly. So what we're going to do here, we're going to add some information to the advisor table. We're going to fill it in directly from the database. So we show table data. So we're going to insert some random data. Okay, so let's have chemistry. I want to have 2 advisors from chemistry department. So fill it up with random details. So we have these 2 data in our advisor table. So we're going to sign up again. And we're going to sign up with someone in chemistry. Let's see where it's the student controller. Can't find it again. There it is. Okay, so this is going to flag us an error because we don't have a dashboard. So I just wanted that, so we'll go back. Let's make some changes, change the reg number so that we can be able to sign up again. Alright, so we continue, and then yes, so he was able to find the 2 teachers or the 2 advisors, and these are the details. So now all he has to do is to begin to generate random numbers. Now you're going to see what I mean by how it generates its random numbers. If you see that it kind of repeats itself, so I don't really advise using the random class. There's a more complex way of generating more steady, a more steady random number that rarely repeats, and I will drop a video for that very soon. Yeah, but for this we will use a random number. We're just going to make do with it. So when we continue, right, so let's see the number it generated. So it generated 9288 blah blah blah. Yeah, so that's quite a range of numbers. So this stuff is going to loop for quite a number of times until it finds a matching. Of course this will not match, so it's going to loop until it's able to get. Now the 2 advisors we have, this one's where advisor ID is 1, and then the second, the advisor ID is 2, and then what this generated here initially is 92. That's quite a number. So, and it definitely did not find any matching thing, so that's why this is null. So it's going to loop again. So it generates another number. This is quite a long number, so it's going to loop again. So it's going to keep on looping until it finds that. So but if you have a better suggestion, I would have said, okay, rather than just do this, I would say, okay, maybe kind of do some string breakdown to do some comparison, but it's not a problem for me. I could allow this to do the looping for as long as it can until it finds a matching number. I mean, the range is from 1 to this, so definitely it will find either 1 or 2. And why we have to use this is because, you know, we don't know how wide number of users we're going to have. So I'm going to skip this. So so at the end it's done looping. Of course, we must finally find something. If we continued that, it would have looped until so it finally got to 1, and it was able to assign. So it's going to assign this one to it's going to assign the advisor with the ID 1 to this user. So if we continue, it's going to save, and it will require us to return back to the dashboard, which we have not yet created. So we'll stop this here, and then we'll go to the student's ID, and then we'll refresh. So now this has an advisor assigned to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and create the student's dashboard. Let me disable these breakpoints. So go to my debug and delete all breakpoints. Yes, delete all. Alright, so I'm going to create the dashboard action just after my login here. Public action results dashboard, and this is going to collect a parameter which is of the students table, and it's going to collect the students object. And so that's what's coming in here. So our dashboard is going to let's see how the dashboard looks like in the demo. Alright, so this is what the student dashboard looks like. It's going to show you the student name, the reg number, the department, the advisor's name, and the number, and all that, and the days he's available for counseling. And if there is no advisor yet assigned, it's going to show no advisor assigned. So let's design our dashboard to look like this. So of course we're going to return view. For now, we're going to right click and add the dashboard view. So change this layout to student layout. Okay. Alright, so we are going to save us some time. I'm going to copy out some things from the sign up page actually, and make some changes. So copy, Ctrl+C, my dashboard, delete this and paste. Now I'm going to completely remove this form. Don't need this form at all. Okay, remove the form and everything inside. Yeah. Alright, so all we need is going to be a display of the student's information, like this: student name, this. So we're going to create something like this. So for us to be able to do this, and our student controller, why is my student controller always disappearing? Yeah, okay. So in my student controller, I go to the dashboard, and yeah, I'm going to say view bag dot students is going to be equal to students. So that's going to pull the student's information. I'm also going to have the advisor details. So to do that, I'm going to say var advisor is equals to db.table, that's for the advisor tables, dot, we're going to find the exact advisor using the advisor ID. So student is the name of the object dot advisor ID. So that will find the exact advisor there. So if advisor is null, that's if you didn't find any advisor, then you say view bag dot advisor name would be no advisor. Okay, or we say advisor yet to be assigned, right? And then okay, yes, so then you would also have a view bag dot advisor, general advisor, and if it is null, that's going to guide us on some other things. So if this is null, view bag dot advisor name would be this, else view bag dot advisor name would be a combination of all the advisor's names. So this we're going to concatenate. So the title first, advisor, the title, the space, and copy this, save me some time. Advisor dot, okay, I think we usually start with the surname first, right now? Yeah, surname, first name, and last name. Yeah, then we have view bag. That's, yeah, what are the details there again? Right, so the advisor room number, email, and days of the availability. All right, so advisor email would be equal to advisor email, and the view bag that's okay, your room number okay, with the advisor that's room number. Then for the availability, it's kind of technical because we're going to have the advisor store his availability separated in commas. So we're going to split it. So it's going to be split into an okay. It's going to be an array, so it's going to be split by a comma. How do we do that now? So then okay, so so we're going to split the availability because they're going to be separated with commas. So it's going to be split into a string. We call that availability. It's not really a problem. Right, so that's going to be advisor dot availability dot split. So this will split the availabilities based on using the comma. Alright, so that will split it using the comma, and yeah, so when it splits it, okay, yes, yeah. So we're going to split this, and we're going to have it as an array. So that will be, so view bag dot availability. Always have an issue spelling this because of availability. Alright, yes, yeah, I think that's those are the informations that we will be needing. Yes, alright, so that's what we expect before we return to the view of the dashboard. So let's have that design our dashboard. So we're going to have we'll start with the paragraph and give you guys a special span. So student's name, let's do this star, how do you call this, then headers, and the headers we could just give it a special color. Headers, with a special color. I think that was kind of blue. Let's stick to blue for now. So student name would be viewbag the student, the first name. How do we even spell first name in our, let's see, student, the first name. Forgive me, let me go to the definition. You can't locate the definition. No, you must locate the definition. Yes, so first name is a capital N. So this slash first name, as you see, that's surname, and the last name. Don't know whether it's also last name starts with a capital N. So this is quite important to be consistent, because when you're making use of the view bag, it doesn't suggest the names of the properties to use, so you have to bear that in mind. Okay, so that's for the name. It will be so the next is going to be the department. Oh, okay, the reg number, student, the reg number. So student reg number, you see, and the student department. Next should be okay, so the next is going to be the advisor's name. So this is going to be the academic advisor. So this is going to be viewBag advisor name as agreed in the student yeah. Or let me copy this in case there are any spelling errors, and we place it here. Yeah, see it, there is a spelling error there. Alright, so then we're going to have, so if we're going to have an if statement, so say at if double tab. So if viewBag dot advisor, that is the advisor object, is null, you don't show me anything. Or okay, let's just is not equal to null, then you could begin to show me. You see, then you could begin to show me where is it student controller. You could show me the advisor email, Control C, so advisor email, right, and I could put this inside the link, mail to, and that would be advisor's email. So shouldn't have double @ here. Advisor's email, so that when you click on this, it will take you could directly send the email. So the next would be the advisor's room number or address here. Okay, so we don't want it as a link, regular text. So let's copy it exactly as it is. So here, Control V, remember to include the art. And then the final one is days available for counseling. Alright, so this one is going to be a drop down. So this would be available, what's with the spelling of this, available days for counseling. And then that's going to be for each. Okay, so before that, yeah, it's possible that the lecturer has not yet, the advisor hasn't set the days he's available for lecturing. So let's make sure we have that provision. Okay, so if availability dot counts is equal to 0, then that means view bag that this will be null, else yeah. Alright, so that's in case the advisor hasn't set the days he's available for counseling. Alright, so back to the dashboard. Okay, so we're going to say if view bag, please, I'm going to have to copy this because usually I may make a mistake in the spelling. Alright, so if view bag here is null, you have nothing there, or if it's not equals to null rather. So if it is not equals to null, then you could now start your for each day in view bag dot availability. Then you're just going to write P is available to be there. Alright, at, we have to add at, so because this day is going to write it day, but if you write the at, it's going to know that you're talking about this object here. Alright, so I think that's fine. So to save us the stress of signing up, I'm sure we're tired of signing up a lot. We're going to quickly work on the login page, although it's going to be quite taxing. So we have the login view already, right, for the students. All we're going to do is to just copy, going to copy the major things in the sign up and paste it in the login. Make a little change, of course. We paste it, so of course we need to add the model on top. Add model space, the project name, whatever your project name is. Mine is my first ASP project. Dot the models. Then this time around we are still students table. Alright, so that should clear any error up there or down here. And then what we're just dealing with is the reg number. That's what we're going to be using to log in. Your reg number and your password. These are going to be the two things we need: your reg number and your password. Okay, don't need confirm password for anything. And of course remember to change this to login. Yeah, alright, so save this, and then we need to also create the post action for our login page. All this we're doing here is in the sign up, is in the dashboard. So to be sure, we have to specify that this is the HTTP get, and then we need to copy this, Ctrl+C, and then create the post action HTTP posts. Paste this, and then it's going to take an object of the student table. So this is going to be login. So it's simple validation. So if login dot reg number, reg number is a string, so if it is null and no, or if the login password is also null, we're going to throw back an error. We'll say view bag that error is going to be fill all fields, yeah, and then you return the view. You choose to add the object there back. Else, then we check our database, for the reg number. So we're going to check the database for the reg number. So we're going to have that's going to be var user check. We're going to check for user. It's going to be db dot student tables dot where x dot reg number, right? Reg number is equal to login dot reg number first or default. Okay, so if user check is null, we report an error, viewbag error. So what? Say reg number not found. That is, it did not find the user with such reg number. You return the view. You return the person back to the view. You could be so kind to add the object back. Else, if the user check, that's what we found in the database, and the user check password is not equal to the login password, so we're going to throw another error. We'll copy this for the sake of time. So pass, or as simple as that, wrong password. Else you return redirect to action, to the dashboard, of course, and then we include the object, which is the user check. Alright, so delete this. So I think that will save us some time. So if we refresh this, okay, so this is the reg number we're going to use to register. I have the password here. So let's go ahead and then let's log in to our student page. Alright, so this is the login. We need to change this to students login, since it's no more sign up. Students login. Alright, refresh this. Okay, so we're going to paste that reg number. Yeah, so we're logging as a student. So this is supposed to bring us to the dashboard. So I think we should put a breakpoint here so we can track our movement. So put a breakpoint here. So okay, so we put this here to know if it doesn't find that, and then we put this here. We're going to put another here No, I meant here, and then here, and then finally before we return the view. Alright, so let's submit. So it brings us into the dashboard, and then does it come with the student info? Yes, it does. It has all the details of the students. Okay, yeah. Continue. Yeah, what's the problem? Object not set to the reference string availability. What could cause this problem? Alright, so let's see what exactly was the problem. Okay, so availability. I mean the availability is no. So okay, I think the problem here is because if it's null, you can't split anything, so we have to sort that out. Yeah, so so what we're going to do here is we're going to say, so if advisor dot availability, now available, come on, help me out, availability is not equal to null, then I think we can do this. It's going to be a problem because of this. So okay, let's see. Paste this here. So else, this is where we are supposed to have it. Let's copy it here. V. This may save us some problems. Okay, copy this. So we're going to go back and log in again. Alright, so let's log in after making that change. Submit. Alright, so I think it will not flag that error again. So yes, so we're ready to go to the view. So let's see what our dashboard view should look like. I hope we don't have any errors. Alright, if you look at actually we have some styling issues here. If you could look closely, you see that okay, the numbers are showing. So the stuffs are showing, but we can't see because of the color. So probably we'll have to make all the paragraphs white in color. So that will be P, color, right. And I discovered the room number wasn't showing. There might be a problem somewhere. Students controller, where are you? Alright, so let's refresh this. I'm going to bring us back here. I want to know why the room number is not showing. Let me see. Room number 201. Okay, that means it was showing, maybe it was too small to notice. Alright, so now we can see it. This name, the reg number, the department, the academic advisor, his email, his room number, and available days for counseling. Now the color is not so perfect. We can work on that later. And I think it's going to be it's better to have you know, a little text here. Maybe if the advisor hasn't included the days is available for counseling, we could say unavailable. Yeah, so we could add that, and then we're going to see what it's like to sign up to log in with another student who hasn't yet been assigned an academic advisor. So let's do that. So here where we have it is, if it's no, we're going to say we could say view bag nuts no day. So I said not no day assigned yet. That would be if so I have this here, both of them. Alright, then So let's try signing up with logging in with a student that doesn't have an advisor here. Alright, so we're going to paste the reg number of the student who doesn't have an advisor assigned to him. Alright, so we're going to submit, and we will see the outcome, how it's going to look like when it doesn't have an advisor. We'll continue here. Yeah. Alright, so let's see how the dashboard shows. Alright, of course, this still loading the pictures. Yes. So we see student name, student reg number, student department, and then the academic advisor says advisor yet to be assigned. So this is what we want to have. And of course, when an advisor is finally assigned to him, it's going to change. So with that, we have the student part of this project completed. So next up, we're going to continue, or we're going to go over to the advisor. So I think at this point you could take a break, and catch up in the next video on the advisor controller.